All right, today we're talking about how to make a calorie deficit not suck. For a couple reasons. Number one is I want to talk about some practical strategies you can use, but also psychological. One of the things that really pisses me off in the fitness industry is when people say something to the effect of, well, just eat less and move more. Just eat in a calorie deficit. And they're right, just eat in a calorie deficit. But it's really fucking hard. It's difficult. So I want you to have practical strategies you can use, but also to understand how you can change your mindset. Almost how you can manipulate your mindset to get in a better place mentally and emotionally so that sticking to a calorie deficit doesn't suck as much. This right here, if you follow me on Instagram, you might know what this is. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do. This is the most important concept, I think, all right? This is one way to structure your calories. This I will explain in a moment. This I think is actually really cool. It's like the order of events in terms of how to structure your meals. This is beware of ... I'll explain that later on. This I think is really cool. It's how to approach a party or a social event or a social gathering. So make sure you don't skip that part. Don't skip any of it, but especially not that part. And then finally, I want to give you some of my personal recommendations for what foods I find the most filling and what foods I find to be the least filling. All right, so with that being said, let's get into it. So YCFU stands for you can't fuck this up. If you listen to anything in this video, please listen to this. I almost made it last because all the YouTube experts say that if you put the most important thing last, you'll increase your watch time. And I wanted to make it first because if, goodness forbid, you don't watch the whole video, please just watch this one part. It is the most important thing. And I made an Instagram post about it saying you can't fuck this up. The most recurring theme among the comments was, I really needed to hear this. And for me as a content creator and a coach, that's one of the most important things I look for in comments, because if a lot of people are saying that, it means a lot of people are struggling with it. The purpose behind you can't fuck this up, and especially with how it relates to a calorie deficit. Calorie deficits, like, they do suck. It's not fun. And a lot of coaches and fitness marketers will be like, I'm gonna give you a diet that you will never be hungry again. You'll never have a single craving. You'll burn fat faster than ever. You'll get shredded, and you can eat anything and everything you want as much as you want, yada, yada, yada. It's bullshit. You can have whatever you want in moderation. It's in moderation. And that in and of itself it's difficult. You can't just eat whatever you want as much as you want and can expect to make a lot of progress. Anytime you put restrictions on yourself, it's going to be difficult. And that's okay, but it's important to be honest with ourselves. In terms of you can't fuck this up, one thing I've noticed with a lot of clients, inner circle members, and just people in general, as soon as they go over their calories, or even if you're not tracking calories, as soon as you go out to eat on a Friday night dinner and you have some pizza, maybe a beer, maybe a slice of cake, you think, I fucked up. I ruined everything. And you use that fuck up as a justification, consciously or not, to continue fucking up, to keep going off track. So if it's Friday night, well, I screwed up already, like I ruined everything, so whatever, I'll just get back on track on Monday. And what that does is it justifies you eating as much as you possibly can the entire weekend of junk and of very high calorie foods and things that you know you won't be having during the week. So you load up on them because you know you're not going to be having them during the week. So you might as well have as much as you can, and then you restrict all week. And then you repeat that process over and over and over again. And the reason I want you to know you can't f this up is because it's actually true. As long as you get right back on track. Imagine on Friday night you go out for some pizza, beer, cake, whatever. I don't care if you have an entire box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't care if you go 2,000 calories over what your requirement was. You didn't fuck up as long as you get back on track. There's no race here. There's no finish line. There's no end date. This is for life. This is forever. You can't fail as long as you get back on track, period. I mean, there are people who literally never exercise their entire life, never pay attention to their nutrition, get massively overweight, and then overcome all odds, lose hundreds of pounds, get ridiculously healthy, after years and years and years and years of doing the complete opposite. Imagine if they had that mindset of, I fucked up, like, it's over, it's done, why bother? And you're allowing yourself after one night or 2 nights or a vacation, a week off, to think that you fucked up. It's bullshit. And it's not doing yourself justice. So as soon as you realize you can't fuck this up, you no longer use that as an excuse, you get back on track more quickly, and you make faster progress.